the first girl I date, like it's not gonna be puppy love. Like we gonna be together forever.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me on Too Personal. I'm very excited. We have America's sweetheart, one half of America's couple, friend who we've already had on the show, Kev, but this is the queen of Kev on Stage Studios, Melissa Fredericks. Thanks so much for joining me.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We had Kev on. I feel like we've had the family on. We had Kev on. We had Tony on.
Oh, nice. I remember you had Tony on.
I had to get you in studio. And you were saying before we started that you don't usually do these without Kev.
No, this may be my first.
What an honor.
Yeah, this might be the first time I've ever. Let me make sure I'm not lying, but this feels true to me. That this is the first time I've done a podcast without Kev. I feel like that's true.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. What an honor.
I know. I'm always scary about it.
Well, I'm scary now.
No, the pressure's not on you.
I have a lot of pressure now. Well, it's a safe space.
Thank you.
We won't get you into any trouble. Although that's why we love you guys so much. We were talking about it before. I think that there's been some things that have popped up on the internet recently, with a little pushback with Kev and you, and I'm like, please, please, so serious, be so for real.
Yeah.
Y'all are not canceling Kev and Melissa. Be for real. I don't even want to hear about this.
Thank you. They did want to cancel us for not knowing Jeezy, child.
Well,
and that was crazy.
Well, I think canceling and accountability are two different things. Although I will say, I can't do the everybody has to know everybody game. Like, listen, we're out here trying to survive. All right, yes. I don't know everybody, and while there are some that people may be upset about, there's too many famous people. I can't keep track of everyone.
And the thing is, the comment was we've never listened to a Jeezy album. Obviously, we're aware of who Jeezy is, but the internet takes it and runs with it and becomes these other things. But when you think about people in context, meaning we grew up churchy, we didn't have a lot of exposure to secular music during his heyday. That makes sense to who we are.
Right.
And so I think sometimes people forget about that. Like what's huge in your world can be very specific to your world. Like you want to name a Mary Mary album and I can know them front to back, the entire album, every ad lib, every riff, every run, the musician and the trumpets and the drums. I can do that. You might not can.
Right.
Kirk Franklin, I can do that. You might not can because that was my world, And I'm not expecting you to know my world, but child, the internet was having a heyday. But let me tell you something. They play them now in my gym. I'll be like, hey.
My president is black.
Correct.
I grew up churchy, but like half churchy. Mm-hmm. So I know Kirk Franklin is a core part of my childhood. And we weren't allowed. So it was like what went on in the house and then what went on the other half of the time. So I had the education in both, which is kind of a unique experience because it was so churchy. Like, do you remember? I want to see what kind of churchy.
Okay.
Do you remember like DC Talk?
Yes. Specifically with Kirk Franklin.
This is such a deep cut.
Yeah. Oh, what is the name of the album? The name of the song that I'm thinking of. It is with Kirk Franklin, DC Talk.
We'll look it up.
Yes. Oh, it's in my head. It's going to come randomly. I'm just going to blurt out the lyric. Just forgive me now for the intrusive thought when it comes to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to just blurt it out.
It's fine. Did you do Awana?
No.
Didn't do Awana. Okay. What else was there? Like, see, we were close to the same age. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of like the same kind of content as we were growing older.
100%.
And in my house, we were really only allowed to watch sports or like kung fu movies.
It's so specific.
Yes. Like it was like he was way into kung fu. So I've seen like all of the Bruce Lee movies, like any kind of kung fu movie that's ever existed. But yeah, I mean, church is a big part of your brand still. But what I find as someone who's going through a spiritual crisis myself and grew up very, very heavy in the church, like 4 or 5 days a week, all of the things, outreach, missions trips, the whole bit. I don't go to church now, but what I love so much about what you and Kev represent is that you, to me, are what Christianity is supposed to look like, feel like, act like, speak like. give like, love like. And I have my older sister and her husband are the same way. And for me, it kind of ruins Christians.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I have this pedestal.
If it's not this,
I don't want it.
It ain't gonna work for me.
I don't want it. I don't want to be around it. But I know that's probably not how you feel. But what is your pulse on like what's going on with like particularly the Black church right now?
Honestly, I think there is a bit of a reckoning happening. I tell my husband all the time when he came out recently with his stance on the gay community, the LGBTQIA community, where he's basically like, I just know I'm going to lead with love. I think that at least for us, we're in a space where we've decided to lead with love because we're willing to recognize we don't have all of the answers. And I think sometimes with religion, we're looking for definitiveness. We need things to be clearly defined: good, bad, black, white. And it's just not really the way the world works. And I'm willing to say that's God's business. I'm not God, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So what I do know is love. That's what I know. And so I'm going to stand in everything that I do from that space and allow God to handle the rest. And that's not only is it a risk, I'm not quite sure that it is a risk, but for the sake of the conversation, a risk I'm willing to take, because the other part about it is the internet can be mad. I have a niece that's gay. I have an aunt that's gay. I have a cousin that's gay. I have a nephew that's gay. I'm not going to please the internet.
Right.
When my kid's godmother is gay. And I have people in my actual life that I love and love me. And I'm not going to isolate and alienate them to make anyone happy. That's just not worth it. And it feels contrary to who I believe God is. And so I'm leading with love. I come here, niece, I love you. Come here, cousin, I love you. And I don't want to have the appearance of perfection, because I don't get it right all the time. And that's okay. And God still loves me. And that's okay. And I think leading with that, it makes Christianity and religion more approachable. We have this the analogy where we think about God as our father. And I think about, as a parent, the lengths I'm willing to go to for my child. It's not going to be too, I think he might be your producer, said, I don't want to have kids because I might go to jail behind them.
Facts. Yeah.
Amen. My son right now, the other day in our neighborhood, you're supposed to put like a little placard in your window. And if you don't, you'll get a ticket from the HOA child to be annoying the crap out of me.
Didn't Kev tweet the other day that HOA is the
And that's
cops?
what he was talking about.
Yeah, they're the cops.
Oh my God, I can't stand it. Pissed me off. I gave him the thing. He flipped it up. And because he flipped it up, they couldn't see it. And I said, Isaiah, I literally just told him that like 2 days ago. You have to put this down because I'm going to cuss somebody out. And you wrong. They need to see it. And I know this is stupid, and I know it's dumb, and I know they can see it all if all they got to do is look. But because they can't like just quickly be able to visualize, I can see the little placard, they're going to give us this ticket. And what's going to happen is I'm going to go down to that office and I'm going to tell somebody off.
Right.
Protect your mama. Put the thing down. Please. Because I'm finna go off. And so I'm like, and this is just, and he wrong.
Right.
That's the goal part. He is actually wrong. Do right. And I'm still willing to cut somebody out behind my child.
That's a great, I know in church they're always talking about that, but that is a great analogy for how to love. Like if you think of God's love as a parent's love, like a true love.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't have good parents. But a parent that truly loves you, we know what parents will do for their children.
Absolutely.
And if you think of what God's love is supposed to feel like and look like, it's similar. And if we're supposed to act as he would act, that is how you should treat people. I think it's true that it's really hard to find in a world that is increasingly this or that, black or white. There's no flexibility. There's no nuance, particularly on the internet, which is, look, it's where we live our lives. It's where this show is. It's where a lot of of the content that you guys make lives.
100%.
And while we strive to get the internet to have a little bit more context and a little bit more conversation and a little bit more understanding, it's hard in these formats to have real conversation. And for religion particularly, because when all that was going on, obviously I was like, y'all need to, need to be serious, okay? Because like I'll say the things that Melissa won't say to y'all. All right, need to be serious. But like, love is such a controversial topic.
Yeah,
it has become very controversial.
I think it's because we're trying to gatekeep who deserves love instead of just like freely giving it. And I think, again, if I'm going from what I know for sure, and I'm no expert, be clear, all right? I didn't go to clergy. I didn't do the things. I don't have none of the degrees. I don't know none of the things. What I do know is love. And so and I'm not trying to gatekeep who deserves that love.
Yeah.
And so when you lead with that, the doors are open. Like, I'm open, And I think, again, when you were talking about going through your like crisis in religion, I think for a lot of millennials we are, because I read a lot of romance novels. Well, a lot-ish. And I just got into it a little bit. And one of the ladies that got into, her name's Kennedy Ryan. Love her, adore her. She's freaking fantastic. She's so great.
I read a lot of history because I just like to stay in a state of full anger and never give myself any peace. But Haley got me into the Court of Thorns and Roses. But like, she is a romance.
Oh, she's amazing. So actually, to this point, I was in therapy, and I used to read like a lot of self-help books. I love a good self-help books because I like to stay in a state of, you're not good enough, so what can you fix? And so my therapist was like, girl, you're not a project. Mm-hmm. I need you to read something that's just for fun. You should read this. And so I started on the Skyland Sisters. Love this book. I actually got a chance to meet Kennedy. Just really, really amazing. I was going somewhere with this. Okay. Regardless, you should try read yourself.
I do. I need to give myself some peace.
Give yourself some peace. You can sit down and read a little. They're fantastic. And if you're an audiobook listener, she writes with audiobooks in mind, because we're always on the road on the way to go. So I do a lot of audio listening, and she's really good about like submerging you. It almost becomes a movie in your mind. She's phenomenal. Can't speak highly enough of her. Anyway, Kev has his podcast, Not My Best Moment. She was on it. She also grew up very churchy. And one of the things she talked about was that sometimes we inherit this faith from our parents and we never interrogate it.
Okay.
And I feel like for a lot of millennials, myself included, my husband included, we're in a space where we're asking questions. We're saying, this doesn't make sense, or this doesn't resonate, or based on my life and my lived experience, these feel contrary to one another. How are you telling me this is who God is? And then when I'm experiencing this in the world, I don't know how to integrate these things. It feels, and so we're asking these questions. When I was a child, I didn't even feel like I had the space to ask questions.
Yeah.
I felt like it was disrespectful, or, a pathway to hell that I would dare question God. And I feel like I'm in a space now where like, I feel like God invites those questions. It's okay to understand me deeper and to come to who God is to you and in your life, and how does God show up to you, and how do you reflect that out in the world? And so I think a lot of millennials are in a space of interrogating their faith and what it looks like and what it means to them. And I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's important to ask questions. That's a great way of putting it. I have a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. And when I default to saying like my sister and her husband and like you and Kev, and obviously I know my sister and husband's, personal life very well, so I can speak to how they live. But I feel like we all receive the energy that you two put out in the world as whole and intentional. Mm-hmm. I think that it's also an idea that was ingrained, at least in me, that the church and religion is just like all you live for. Mm-hmm. And everything is centered around the ideas and the rules and the no's and the guilt. And it's like, are we ever supposed to live our lives? Like, are we supposed to choose every song we listen to with the thought that God is looming over us? Don't sing that lyric.
Yeah.
Like, how do you live your life? And it sort of made me revolt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is stifling, and it doesn't make sense. And more than that, I'm seeing the people who live this way, who follow this, who are the worst people I know.
Yeah.
So none of this math is mathing for me. And I think how I'm consuming a lot of it now, from the ledge of despair that I'm on with the way that the world is, it's like we so desperately need just like real kindness.
We do.
And I don't think I'm the champion for it, but like we need some people who are really like reaching out, and we're trying to be hard on them.
Yeah, I agree. I think we are definitely, the ledge of despair is so accurate, man. This world, boy, it's exhausting. We just had a conversation with my youngest son. We do like at the end of the school year. It's not public. It's behind our paywall, but he was talking about his experience being Black at his school. Brought me to tears. I'm like, my baby is 17, and I feel like he feels like he's wearing the weight of the world on his shoulders. That when he goes into rooms and he recognizes quickly, as in an assessment, I'm the only Black kid in here, I need to show up as what it means to be Black in America, as the Black little boy in America. That's a huge weight for a 17-year-old to wear. He's not needing that. But in these days and times, even my 17-year-old is feeling that, waking up every day and I'm worried about my kid's future. How are they going to pay for this? How are they going to pay for that? Are they going to be able to move out? Can they afford to move out? Love, child. We all just need a big hug.
And it feels
love.
Like scary to do that, because at least for me, I feel very vulnerable being loving. I feel almost kind of weak in a way. Like I definitely feel vulnerable, but I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on forgiveness. Like it's tough for me. It's really tough. Like because I can't, I'm really struggling reaching forgiveness without accountability. So it's like, for me, like let's just talk in the macro sense.
Yeah.
Like forget individuals, because that's layered with stories and all types of things that we really can't speak to each particular case. So let's just speak macro. Like it is hard for me to forgive people who are supporting things that are happening right now. Like and the idea of continuing to love someone that truly hates you, that truly doesn't believe you are a full person, that doesn't believe you deserve the same rights as them, simply because they were born looking differently than you. It's hard for my brain to get there. And I lead so much with my mind that it's really hard for my heart to be like, despite all that, I love you, brother, because I don't love that person.
Oh, we agree.
Okay.
We agree.
I can't get there.
I think the personal aspect is more of what I would be more willing to forgive.
Yeah.
But on a macro level, not being able to understand my humanity.
Yeah.
I don't understand yours either then. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's God's business, and he gonna have to deal with that, because my human nature, and I think sometimes we can get that confused too, where we think people are deserving of our grace and our forgiveness of people who wouldn't return that to us.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind. And I think sometimes that's part of Christianity, like, and I feel like, oh, that doesn't jive with me. That doesn't feel like fully integrated. Like that's not integrity to me to project this, and inside it doesn't feel right. So I'm learning to honor that don't feel good.
Right.
So I'm not finna, and I don't even know if forgiveness is the right word, because I don't know that they're asking, if they think that what they're doing is wrong, again, on this macro level, that what they're doing is wrong. They're not asking us for our forgiveness. If they had it their way, we would probably be shot somewhere. Like these people aren't interested in who we are as people. So no.
I mean, I'm with you,
That's
but
enough for me.
I do think it does circle back to, how do we show up loving in the world? Like, how do we heal things without love? And I've talked about this recently on the show, that there's some of our great leaders have talked about hope and love and peace and meeting hate with love, and like the only thing that will drown out hate is love, and it's light blinds the darkness, and it does prove to be true. Like, over time, it does prove to appeal to the humanity in another person. And sometimes it does take that conversation, right?
But you have to be open. And I think that's the part. I think you have to be in a space where I'm open and you are open,
right,
to have this conversation, and like somewhere we're going to bridge this gap, and then like change behavior will come. But sometimes we're having these conversations, so we're blue in the face with someone that's completely closed off. Come on, right. Love Island language, and not interested in the idea of change. And that again, this is where I say that's God's business, because I am not here to convince you of my humanity.
Yeah.
You got to be open to that to begin with. And if you're not, I'm not going to be in a room and I'm child, go live your life. Please go away from me with this Apollo, because I'm uninterested. Like, at some point I have to know what's worth my time and what's not.
Yeah.
And if you're completely closed off, you don't see me as a human, like these like big, huge political, things, this is a waste of time. And I'm not finna waste my time on that. I think when you are with people, individual people, and you recognize, there may be someone that has a question, and they're genuinely curious, they're genuinely trying to understand, I will stop to have that conversation with people. We do have to have rapport, a relationship, that kind of thing, but depends on the circumstance. But if I have a personal relationship with you, I'm not always the person that's quick to, girl, you can Google it. Because
Right.
Google doesn't always provide nuance. And so I will be willing to have a conversation with someone that I feel is genuine in their question. I don't mind that. But I'm also, if you don't, child, go on about your business. Go on.
What's life like for you right now? Because you are not quite empty nesters, but you have grown children now. That's a new chapter in itself. What's it like adjusting to them being young men?
It is, I'm one of those parents that goes back and forth between really, really, really missing my children when they were really young, and like the cute little things they would say. But I'm also really grateful to see my kids grow up.
Yeah.
Like it makes me almost emotional thinking about who they are in comparison to who I was at their same age. Like I was talking about before, when we go to vote, and my son has ideas and thoughts between what he wants to vote for and what he doesn't. I'm so impressed, because I'm like, I don't know that I had the fortitude of thought to think differently than my parents. I didn't. And so the fact that they're able to articulate and like come up with these ideas and ask these questions that are like, oh, you're really thinking about this. Like, I'm really, really grateful for that.
That kind of passion can absolutely be poured into something that does move mountains.
Yes.
And we need young people to do that.
Absolutely. We have to have young people. We got to get these old people out of here. But I'm like, Joe, that's the kind of thing I told both my boys, it's such a privilege to watch these little people that you've helped develop and hopefully give them a moral compass and find out the things that are important to them and their quirks and things that they're interested in and their passion, these little things. And you have the opportunity to encourage that. It's so gratifying. My oldest son he's very creative, and so he has these group of friends from high school. They've started their own little like YouTube channel. They just got monetized. He's so excited about it. He's producing. And he does a good job because he sees what me and my husband do. And so when they come over, he makes sure to feed them. He act like he got money, child, but he pays them. He makes sure he pays them.
Good.
He does all of these
That's
things.
good. It's important.
And I'm just like, I'm so proud, and he takes pride in it too. Like, he thinks he's running a company. Okay. I mean, and he is, he really is. But I'm like, I'm so proud that like you guys you're forging your own path and what that means and what that looks like to you and doing the things. This is truly one of my favorite phases of parenthood.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. It's seeing them reach adulthood as someone who has absolutely no children, but lots of nieces and nephews. It's always exciting to see the like the paths they choose and what their like personalities become. And I just recently said this to my oldest niece, who has a daughter and a husband and a home and career, and she said something, I don't remember what it was, but it was like, and it's silly because she's a grown woman, but it was like one of the first times I really looked at her and was like,
"You're grown.
Oh, you're a grown woman." And I said it to her, and she was like, "Well, thanks." Like, oh, like, yes, I am.
Yeah,
I have a 5-year-old child and a husband and a mortgage. And like, I've been a grown woman for a while, but like, it is something about it. It's really special to see them choose their path.
It really is, and those moments where you recognize, like, wait a minute, I'm talking to a young adult, like. Yeah. This is crazy to me. Even down to dating. My son was dating this girl, super cute girl. When I tell you, I said, that's it. She gonna be my daughter-in-law. I like her. I like her a lot. She had a passport.
You can say that because you guys, she had a passport.
Child. Oh, she said, Miss Melissa, me and my mom and my aunt took a girls' trip to Paris. Y'all did what? What else you went to? Where else you went to? Girl, she was the cutest little thing. She was well-traveled. She was in college. She was doing like graphic design work or something.
Cute.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I love you. She would send like these little care packages to the house for him. I said, no. I like her. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. Child, he broke up with her. I was so mad. I was hurt. I was hurt. And so I was like, what happened? And the fact that he is able to articulate, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like, this is what she would do that I didn't like or I couldn't do. She would request this of me and that didn't really work.
Boundaries.
Man, and it's so, he went from, my husband and I have been together since we were in 11th grade.
Right.
And so he went into dating like, I really want to have, the first girl I date, like it's not going to be puppy love. Like we going to be together forever. Boy, hush, please hush.
I mean, yes, you guys are an exception.
And that's what you try to impress upon your child. Like, don't go for what me and daddy do. Go live your life a little bit.
I mean, it's not that it can't be, but it's the same with my sister. My sister married the first man that she dated, and they've been together for decades. I mean, I think I don't want to short them, but close to 40 years. Got to be 35 years. It's got to be close to 5 years.
Wait. Hold on. Are you? What is your how many brothers and sisters do you have? What is your age gap?
Oh, I got a gang of brothers and sisters. I got 6 brothers and sisters, and I have 14 nieces and nephews, and 15 is on the way, and there will be many more. There will be lots more. They love making children.
Are you the baby?
No, I'm in the middle. So I have 2 older sisters and an older brother, and 2 younger sisters and a younger brother.
So 7 of y'all total.
Yes, but my oldest sister is 14 years older than me. God. So there was kind of like litters.
Got it.
And different, parents and all that. We're a good American family. But yeah, she had her first kiss on the altar. And I do think like,
oh, y'all grew up like churchy, like that's that
real.
Yeah, that's that real.
I did not follow the same path, but she did. She set the bar at impossible, and I love her for that. Yeah, I mean, it's, you want them to not put too many expectations into things and live their lives. When it comes to marriage, you guys get asked about marriage all the time, and I think one thing about what I admire about your marriage is you are very open about it. You guys are very playful publicly. And I'm sure that, you guys are private in your, in your dealings, but you get asked for advice, to give advice all the time. what does this chapter of marriage look like for you? Because similarly, a lot of things can shift now. You know, you have, not that you're not going to be parenting anymore, or that they're like gone, but they're adults now.
Yeah.
So the conversations are different. Maybe they're not coming home at the time that they said they were
Correct.
coming home. You know, there's different things going on, and soon they will be out. So what does this chapter look like for you?
I feel like this chapter looks like us reacquainting ourselves with working together more. I think we work together, but I also was still very involved in our youngest son. Like, he's still doing 3,000 things, and I'm just playing chauffeur, to be honest. And now that he finally got he didn't have his license until after he graduated.
Okay.
And so I'm still picking him up, dropping him off, taking him here, taking him there, going to start doing all of the things. And so now both my boys have cars, their licenses. And so even this morning, we're working on this project together, and my husband's like, I think you should write it. And I'm like, boy, I never wrote nothing in my life. I don't really know if I want to do that. I think y'all should do that, and please leave me alone. And he's like, no, and I think we should like write it together. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, because I can pop in, I can pop out, you know, I can do my own thing, I can be with the boys, and I can do this. And now it's like the boys are kind of not done, but you know, the bulk of that responsibility is kind of gone now. And so I'm like I just actually texted my friend this. I was like, I feel a little unanchored because I don't know what is next. Like, I feel like the romantic part of our relationship is solid, but I always think you should be, or not always, for us, there's an aspect of business in our relationship that it's really, we're partners. And so we need to, what that looks like, I think, is going to be us working a little bit more closely together, so I don't feel like a bump on a log. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And so that is making me like really, like I said, I never do this alone. Kev is normally, he's the face, he's the mouthpiece, he does the things. I'm able to just kind of like chill and pop in and out. And when you or whoever DM'd, like, do you want to be on the podcast? I don't think y'all meant to send this to me, so I'm going to ignore that. Oh, it came back again? Oh, so that means you did mean to send it to me? Oh, okay.
Yes, we want you.
Yeah. But because it never happens, literally, I do that all of the time. I'm being funny, but also it would be the truth. Another opportunity came through. I said, oh, I think you met Mr. Kev on stage. I'm going to ignore that. And then they come back, and I'll be like, you really did mean me? Okay, well, now let me think about it before I respond, because I don't know how to, what do I do with this? I don't know. And so for me, it's anchoring myself in, oh, it is you. You do need to do the things. You do need that. You don't have an excuse anymore. You need to put out more content. You need to be doing this. Like, you don't have like, oh, I'm just being a mom. No, girl, like, it's about you now. And so that has me feeling like uneasy, unanchored, ungrounded. Like, I'm still trying to like find my foot. And it's still new. Joe just graduated in June. It's still very, very new, but it is a little like unsettling and scary. I think when you said vulnerable, I think maybe that's the phase that I'm in. It's like, oh, I don't really know. I don't know this, Melissa. I don't know what's next. And so that's a little scary.
Have in times in your past when you've felt this way, or have you felt this way before?
I would say yes and no. I would say probably the most comparable time is when I left my job. So if you understand me as a person, right, I'll give context so it makes a little bit more sense. I am an oldest sister. I'm not a type A personality, but I do go like back and forth. I could be like AB, like a B plus, A minus. Like, I live right in that like kind of personality zone. But I'm a rule follower. I love a gold star. I am a checklist. Very good job. Kevin and I got married after going into our senior year of college. So I got married. I started working in a management training program. I was somebody's manager at like 23. I don't know why they let me do that, but they did. Bought a house by the time I was 23, had Isaiah, had Joe by 25. And I went from like assistant manager to like on my way to being, I can't even think of the name of it. But anyway, it was like over the district. Like very, this is my life,
right.
you know? Check mark, check, graduated college, check mark, husband, check mark, children after marriage, very important part of the step,
of course,
check mark, bought a house, check mark, you know? We started making good money, put my kids in private school, bing, bang, boom. We're living the American dream, put an apple pie out on the windowsill. Like I'm doing the things, very much who I am. Then we move out to LA. And I'm still like, I'm going to be the safety net. I'm going to be the responsible one. Kev's chasing these dreams, but me, I'm going to get a job. So I get the job. I do the safe thing, all of these things. Kev goes on tour and he's like, I want you to quit your job. Why would I do that? I don't even understand what you're asking me to do. I've always been the safety net. You go off. I mean, at the time, this, you know, is a process, but in real time, I'm thinking you're the irresponsible one with these dreams that don't pay no bills. But the only reason why it's okay is because I'm here.
Right.
You know, I'm going to make sure we have insurance and the kids can get their checkups because they're babies and they need their immunizations. I'm going to make sure the mortgage is paid. I'm going to but that's always been my role and I'm okay with that because it's very much in line with my personality.
Right.
So now you're asking me to quit the job that guarantees us a paycheck every 2 weeks to go do what you're doing? Well, we're going to be homeless. That don't seem smart. And then I did it. And so it was very, I don't know this world.
Yeah.
It's very unstructured. Entrepreneurship is very unstructured. And I don't live my personality. I thrive at every job I've ever had in corporate America because I know my expectations. I know this is my job description. These are the things that I have to do today. I love a checklist. I've already told you this. So I know at the end of the day, I can say I did a good job. This doesn't work in this world. And so to a certain extent, I'm still finding my footing in that because I'm like, I don't understand this world. You just make it up. Well, that feels wrong because where are the rules? Who decides I did a good job?
No, it's lawless.
And I don't like that. I don't feel like I thrive in that because it feels like I'm the person. And literally when I was in therapy, she was like, Melissa, someone else just made up the rules. You're just following them. Make up your own rules and follow them.
You can make your own rules.
That feels wrong.
You want someone else to make up the rules.
I'm like, well, if I make up my own rules, then that feels like cheating because then how do I know I'm just deciding? Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Like it just doesn't compute in my brain. It just doesn't work. And so I've been doing this now for a few years. I get it a little bit, but it's still a little bit off. And now, at least with the kids, there's structure. I know I have to get up at this time. I know I have to drop them off. I know at this time I have to pick them up. I know on Tuesdays he has this. Okay, I can thrive in that because there's rules.
Yeah.
There's things I have to do. I know I did a good job because my kid got to school on time. Check. Very good. Gold star. Good job. Okay. So now when school starts again in the fall, what I'm going to do? I don't have to take my kid to school. So what do Mondays look like? I don't know. On Tuesdays, he doesn't have soccer practice. So what I'm going to do? I don't know. Oh, you get to make it up. Well, that sounds dumb. It's scary because I don't know.
Yeah.
And so this feels like that.
Yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. I mean, I'm in no way comparison, obviously, to children, but I was at Network for almost 10 years. Mm-hmm. And before I was at Network, I was working 5 days a week on a morning drive radio show, which was 4 hours every day from 6 to 10. I had somewhere to be. And now I work from home most of the time. I travel periodically to shoot things. And I have the podcast, which shoots here, but it's not every day. So my life went from being extremely structured, extremely had to be there at a certain time, to, like kind of the same. Yeah. There's still things to do, but like it's when you're an entrepreneur, particularly in the space that we're in, which is the content space, it's the wild, wild west. Yes. Like you can make one thing and then that's the thing.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Or the scarier part is you could do nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing nothing. But then it's like, okay, we'll do something. What?
Right. What and why?
What and why? And that becomes another thing.
So I just got recommended a book by a very good friend. So I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to read it and I'll pass it to you, which is, and now I'm going to butcher the name of it. What is your why? I think it's What is your why? What is the why?
What is the why?
Yes, because I'm struggling a lot with the same thing. for different reasons. I know what to do, but why am I doing it? Because it's obviously about money. Okay, we all know money. Like that's who would work if there wasn't money. So when you know that you can make money, or you know that money isn't necessarily your burden at this particular juncture to carry, when you can choose anything, and you're somebody who really likes structure, and I don't necessarily like structure and rules, but I do like accomplishments. I do like goals. I do like saying I'm going to do this and then making it happen. So from a similar space, I can relate, because when you accomplish something that you set out to do, like you set out to raise a family, and then you're not done. You're never going to be done. You're a mother. You're always going to have children to take care of in some way or another. They're going to find a way to have something for you to do. And you have a husband, you have extended family, like you have a family, you set out to do that. And now you're at a juncture in your life where it's what's the next why? And finding that why can be an adventure, but it can also feel like a lot of anxiety because maybe you haven't found it yet. And in a lot of ways, I kind of feel young again. Not that I'm old, but like I feel like the beginning of my youth where I was sort of searching for, I know I'm passionate about this, I know I'm passionate about that, but what is my purpose? Like, what is the thing that I am absolutely inspired to accomplish? And I did that. So now I have to find the next thing. And knowing how hard it is to raise two Black boys in this world, to have a family, to keep it together, to be the rock, to be the one that makes sure that the bills are paid, to support your husband's dreams, to be a part of the public face of a very successful company, which does come with expectations of the two of you and pressure. Yeah, that's a lot. It's completely understandable why you don't feel anchored.
And I think the scariest part, I think, is when I say I was thriving at my previous places that I worked, I don't know that I ever asked myself if I was passionate about it. I don't know if I ever asked myself if I actually enjoyed it. As much as I understood I needed a job.
Right.
And I needed to keep this job. So I'm going to excel at it because I need this paycheck every 2 weeks. I never stopped to ask myself, was I passionate about it? Is this my full meaning in life? I didn't have time because I had bills to do. And so even asking myself that question in this season feels overwhelming because I don't know. And so interrogating myself, exploring myself is also very new because again, I'm just do what you're told. You're not asking questions. And again, that's why I'm so proud of my kids. They ask these questions. I didn't have capacity to ask because I was too busy following the rules. And so now when any and everything's on the table, I'm like, oh my God, it's almost too much. Just tell me. And so I think that's why I feel like I'm floating. Like I'm just, in a Spike Lee movie where everyone's just kind of moving. Like that's how I feel right now. Yeah, I feel like I've just worked this out. This is like real feelings that I'm like kind of working out in this moment. Yeah, and it's overwhelming. It can be exciting, but I don't know that I've gotten to the point that it's exciting yet. I think I'm still on like, this is scary. This is a very scary thing. And so I don't know. I don't know what's next. And it's so easy sometimes. My husband is he's a very creative person. And I think creative people don't always thrive or like crave structure. I think they like the ability to just free flow and this feels good today and that's what I'm going to do and I'm going to move on and this feels great tomorrow and it doesn't matter. It didn't look like yesterday because this is what I'm doing today. And so I'm going to do that. And he's very like, what we should do? We should write a movie today. I'm sorry, we're going to do what? And that is just like not who I am. And so that's, we just have very different personalities, just very, very different personalities. And so these things make him super excited. And I'm just like, literally, he's like, I think you should write this movie. I've never written a movie in my life. I've never considered writing a movie. And I mean that literally. And so this weekend I spent the whole weekend, I watched like 5 movies. I've learned about what's that man's name? Dan Harmon's Circle. I don't know. I learned about Save the Cat. I don't know. And I'm just like, why am I doing this? because your husband thinks it's a good idea. That's why you're doing this.
Well, you have, it's a blessing in a lot of ways, which will play out over time. That you're in a space where you can choose.
Yeah.
I totally relate to the fear of it, but it is something that a lot of people crave. And like anything in life, you don't know what it feels like until you experience it. So having the ability to choose really whatever path you want can feel overwhelming, because the difference is when you're younger and you're like, I can choose any path I want. Yeah. But there are real consequences to you choosing the wrong path. You can set yourself back a couple decades if you choose the wrong path. So when you're in the space that you're in now, you really truly can decide, do I want to write a movie? Or is that Kev's journey and I'll support where I can and where I feel like it? Or do I want to start a business? Or do I want to start another show? Or do I want to write a book instead? Like all of these things are available to you. I think you just be gentle with yourself.
And not only gentle for sure. And I've tried to learn to be curious about myself, because like I said, I've always been told and I've never questioned myself.
Do you feel like you have poured so much of yourself into everyone else that this is your chapter to pour into yourself?
In this whole movie thing, my husband told me the other day, he said, I think you're entering your second act. And in movies, I just learned this weekend. In movies, like the first 20 minutes or so is establishing whoever your main character is in their current environment where they're very comfortable. This is my life as a mother, my life playing the backseat, Miss Kev on stage, meaning he's Kev on stage. Please ask him and direct all the questions at him. And when you enter your second act, it's normally where they're leaving, quite literally leaving that comfort area into what is actually the point of the movie, so to speak. And he's like, oh, I feel like you're entering your second act. It's normally where the fun and games happens, where they're asking these, exploratory questions, all of these things. They're fish out of water, whatever the premise of the movie is. And I feel like I'm that right now.
Yeah.
I'm a fish out of water, trying to understand who I am. The other thing I was going to say is my husband and I, when we did our podcast years ago, we always talked about the kite and the string analogy, and that's a dynamic we use to explain our relationship. So he's the kite, meaning he's the dreamer. He's off in the clouds somewhere, and I always say one of the dangers of being a kite is sometimes you can fly too close to the sun. I'm the string. I'm the one that's more grounded, more level-headed, and I'm trying to make sure everything is safe. The problem with the string is they don't fly. Without the kite, they're just on the ground. And so I'm always really grateful that my husband has allowed me to start to fly. I think without him, I would be playing it safe. I would still be at the bank. I would still be at Boeing. I would still be very much, this is my path and this is what it looks like. And look at me. And now I bought the house. I did this. And now I'm supposed to climb corporate America. And I'm okay with that. The fact that I'm even in a space where I get to be curious about what I want at 43 is really a blessing, really a privilege, because it's something I never considered asking, because it didn't matter. It was survival. Who cares if you like this job? It's a job.
Right.
So do it. And so the fact that it's like, oh, you actually get to decide. What you mean? I get to decide. There's agency here. Oh, I didn't even know I could have those options, And so it's overwhelming, but I am really grateful that I'm in a space where I get to choose.
Do you think, just looking at relationships and listening to you talk about the relationship that you two have, what you've built together, there's a lot of really negative, ridiculous rhetoric on the internet, because it's not in real life, about relationships, about what a man should have when you start with him, what roles people are supposed to play. And I've been married and I've been engaged and I've been in long-term relationships, and I've had people that I truly considered partners and people that I just dated. And to me, when people ask me about marriage, I always say it is a partnership. A healthy, strong relationship is a partnership. And partnerships require a lot of things. And they are not one simple thing. They're not just sex. They're not just romance. They're not just money. They're not just family. They're not just health. Like, there's so many layers to being truly a partner with someone. that the conversation online just distills into
100%.
nonsense. Like, it's just, yes, you're going to Cheesecake Factory. Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? Like, yes, you're doing your husband's laundry sometimes.
100%.
Like, and then he takes the garbage out. Like, there's just things that you have chores, you're adults.
Yeah.
Things that have to be done around the house.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Do you find that it's what you guys have built feels somewhat unattainable to young people based off of what they constantly see online?
I actually think what's online is what's unattainable. I think because the projections online that it has to look like, I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory, you're only going to spend X, and I'm not talking about like standards. And I think sometimes that's what I think I haven't been dating a long time, so let me just put that disclaimer out as well. But I think I am grateful. Let me say that. Let me talk about me. I am grateful that I got married in a time before and started dating Kevin before really the internet and my relationship was public, because some of the things that make our relationship work, I don't think the internet would appreciate. I think they would have critique and criticism for it. And I think that's the problem, is sometimes we give too much voice to what the internet has to say on our relationship, that it changes what you think is realistic. And the reality is, yes, sometimes he has to wash my clothes. Sometimes I have to wash his. Sometimes the house is a mess and sometimes it's very clean. Sometimes I'm the one fixing and sometimes it's him. Like, it just kind of depends, because that's just the ebb and flow of life.
Right.
And I think if we accept those things, you're more able to navigate a successful relationship. I actually think what people need to know, to be honest, about relationships beyond like, don't take me to Cheesecake Factory, is how to lead with your softer emotions. That's the advice I give to people. Anger is easy. Pissing me off is quite easy. Saying you hurt my feelings is hard. And I think that's what we need more of, examples of, and conversations around in relationships, is not saying, like I said, you cuss me, or I'm finna cuss you out and you piss me off. It's, let me tell you that this hurt my feelings, so we can have a conversation about that. That's hard. That's vulnerability. That's transparency. That's actual communication. That's difficult. You try that in a relationship, that's hard. Telling somebody that's not going to sustain the relationship, no way anyway. I'm not breaking up with somebody probably because they didn't do the laundry. I'm breaking up with them because they know how to communicate. I'm breaking up with them because they didn't have emotional intelligence.
Right.
Like, those are the things that really matter. And I think if we learn and teach people those things, again, that's why my son, when he's dating, he's able to say, no, I actually realize, like, I'm a physical touch. I like physical touch, or I like words of affirmation. And I just realized that really wasn't her like forte. And I know that's important to me. That's what's important. Recognizing, these are the personality traits that work well with me. These are the ones that don't. This is how I respond to this. And this, when people say, I think I'm this, I think it's really important for us to communicate. Meanwhile, you're the person that actually shuts down. That's what you need to know. These are the things you need to know about yourself. What does communication look like to you? And oftentimes it just looks like fussing and yelling. Well, that's not healthy.
Well, vulnerability, it brings me back to like the thing we started talking about. I really struggle with vulnerability. I am not a vulnerable person.
It's scary.
It's very scary for me. It has not been rewarded throughout my life in multiple facets. It's like being vulnerable. You could probably get me to bungee jump more easily. Like, and I have no interest in jumping off of anyone's building, or anything for that matter. It's really scary.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a bit of a handicap because I know what you're saying is true. The real connection that you form with people is through vulnerability.
100%.
So you have to take the risk
100%
in order to establish that trust and in order to know that you're safe to be vulnerable. But that's hard.
No, it is. One of the things I actually said when Kevin and I renewed our vows at 20 years is that when I said yes, will you marry me? When I said yes to him 20 years ago, it was a risk that I didn't know would pay off. When I said I do to him again, yes, I do to you again 20 years later, I've now proven that risk to be worth it. And so I'm saying yes to you knowing you're worth it. Those are different yeses. When you first say yes to somebody, you are hoping. I'm hopeful and I am hoping that you will do right by me, that you will honor my vulnerability, that you won't throw it back in my face, that you will take care of me, that you will treat me as someone sacred, someone that you will hold near and dear to your heart. I don't know if you are, but I'm risking that. When I renewed my vows, you've proven to me that you are. And so I say yes because I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you've proven to me that yes the first time was the right yes. Those are different yeses. And taking that first risk, this is the part of like the fairy tale people don't want to hear. How did you feel when you first yes? I didn't know. That's my reality. I was hopeful, but it was a risk. That's not a fairy tale answer, but it's the truth. I know today, 20 years later, that it was the right answer. And I'm grateful for that. But I didn't know then, you know? People get married, you be together, you be like, look, he cheated on me. He did this, he did that, he did that. Well, if you knew that before, you wouldn't have said yes. Well, I didn't think he would. Exactly. It was a risk.
Right.
It was a risk.
That is what it is.
That is what it is.
You're risking
That's
that.
vulnerability. Vulnerability is exposing yourself to be harmed. That's why it's scary. Because once I give you all of me, you are the example or the image that's coming to in my mind is I have a dog. His name's Monty. It's a cute little thing. When dogs are really, really comfortable with you, they turn on their back upward with their whole chest and everything exposed and their arms and their legs up in the air. And it's actually an extreme sign of trust because they're saying, you could stab me in my heart, in my lungs, in whatever. I'm fully vulnerable to any attack you give me in this position, but I trust you're not going to take it. That's what love is. It is turning on your back to someone and saying, here is my heart. And you have a direct shot to it. And it's up to you to pick up the gun and shoot it or say, absolutely not. I'm here to protect it. That's why it's scary because I don't know. And once someone has picked up the gun and said, oh, no, baby, you already told me what your weak spots were. And you told me where the gun is. And you told me the combination. So everything you entrusted with me, I'm finna use against you as ammo against you. You think I'm gonna do it again?
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. It's really terrifying to, let somebody rub your belly again.
Yes, like legit.
Yeah, and the scars are there too. So someone else will see that another person has used.
And the next time you might actually, I'm gonna bring a knife next time. Right. So not only will I not be exposed, I might shoot you first. I might cut you first because this is feeling a little dangerous. It's feeling a little PTSD-ish.
Yeah, and we are vulnerable people. Like
100%.
I don't think a lot of the times when we talk about the trauma that we inflict on each other as humans, just how, we know it can be passed through generations. We know how hard it is to break generational curses and to heal yourself from things that maybe you didn't even have a say in it happening to you because it happened to you when you were a child, or it happened to your mother before you were born, or any of these things that get passed down. The idea that people are just supposed to blindly continue to put themselves into vulnerable and dangerous situations without any guard up, without any
foolish.
It's just not it's not realistic. And it's I think when you're dating as you get older, a lot of people, and it's not just dating actually. I don't like to distill things just to dating. It's making new friends when you're 100%. Older. It's entering into new spaces.
100%.
It's entering a new job.
Making friends is actually one of the hardest things for me to do in LA.
It's very understandable. I had a very hard time. I moved here when I was 29. I had a very hard time making friends in LA for a long time. And some of the friends I made in LA were some of the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. So yeah, it's not really Los Angeles in so much as it is Hollywood, because I do like to separate the two, because the people of Los Angeles who were born and raised here and live their lives, they're very normal people. But there's a business, and it's hard to find people that
within
you can
the
trust
business.
in the
I
business.
agree. Yeah,
and I've sort of put it to, I'm okay with transactional relationships as long as there's both ways, and I'm okay with everyone not having to be my very best friend.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree.
I know, I actually think I do, and maybe it's something I need to hear, because I think we moved here from Washington State, and having friends that I've known, this is my problem. I'm going to say it this way instead of doing a history lesson here. Oh, Melissa, y'all got to know everything about me, child. Is that I often feel in Hollywood, I love this distinction you're making, or in the business, people are interested in Miss Kev on stage, they're not interested in Melissa.
Yeah.
That's tough. And I feel like when I am trying to engage someone with genuine friendship, and I feel like it's moving transactional, or you just want it, or even worse than just wanting Miss Kev on stage, it's wanting Miss Kev on stage to actually get through to Kev on stage.
Yeah.
You want to talk about, that's my wall.
It's hurtful, honestly. It is, because I would prefer, and that doesn't just happen with women. I mean, it happens with really everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
I would prefer you just get to the point.
Same.
I would prefer you be like, Joy, I would like to date you. I would not like to date you. Okay, well then I don't need to talk to you. Thank you, move along. Like, you don't have to play the whole, like, well, I have a project that I think you'd be really good for. Like,
yeah,
super, super fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then with women, it's like, yeah, girl, like, just be like, hey, like, I would really like to work with you on something. I would prefer that.
Me too.
I would prefer that. Just be honest. Just be straight to it. And I can either be like, yeah, I would love to work with you on that, or be like, hey, like, I'm not really working in that space right now. I do know someone else though.
Correct.
That was really interested in that. I can connect you guys on Instagram or whatever. Like,
and best of luck.
Godspeed. But be honest with people, because I do find that hurtful as well. I've always found it very irritating that it's like, you, first of all, you think you're smarter than me.
Yes.
Which is like, please. All right. Now I have to play these games.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you don't know what their long-term intentions are. It's just it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. And it's a game, and it feels it makes me feel very isolated and alone, and that is like the toughest part of being here for me. For sure, the toughest part of being here for me. I'd be like, Lord Jesus, child, just send me a friend, child. Just please, God, just send me a friend, because of that reason. It is very, and if I feel, I'm very sensitive to it. Like, literally, you're talking about when we were talking, it's not, I've been married for so long that, and I'm grateful for what I'm about to say. Kevin is safe for me.
Yeah.
That relationship is very safe for me. I'm almost crying, but I'm really grateful for it. It's everything else. I'm like, girl,
but it's not safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
It's
not safe. It's not safe. And you should treat it as if it's unsafe.
I think I'm too sober and too vigilant about it. Like, I'm so sensitive about it that if there is any inclination, I will shut down. Don't you worry about me. I will never text you again. That will be the end.
I mean, I really feel for you. Because I've been through the same thing, and it's very unnerving. It feels very lonely. Sure. And when people think of loneliness, they automatically associate that with interpersonal relationships, and when it, like, romantic relationships. And there's so many different ways to feel lonely. You can feel lonely from not having family. You can feel lonely from not having friends. You can feel lonely from not having purpose. And in the business, it is a real loneliness, because it's transaction. Like I said, I don't mind a transactional relationship, because we need to make transactions in business.
Yeah.
But when it's disingenuous, or when it's not actually transactional, you just want something from me, and you don't plan on ever pouring anything into me, or holding up your end of the bargain if I do something for you. Because, like, I'm happy to do a favor, but like, I do need a favor.
Yeah.
Like, that's how favors work.
Right.
You owe me one. It feels like, there's not real soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope for you that doesn't continue, because it is really, like, having strong friendships, especially in this city, is really important.
Yeah. It is, because I also think it helps. I've been watching, because I'm fake writing a movie right now. So I was watching.
What is this genre of movie he wants you to write?
It is It's a comedy for sure. It's kind of rom-com-y.
We need more rom-coms.
Yeah, it's kind of rom-com-y-ish.
We need more rom-coms. I think I'm on his side on this.
Yeah.
We need more rom-coms.
Listen, I did do my little outline. I have my character. The thing, because of who I am as a person, if I'm going to do it, I dive deep. And so now I need to be an expert on this, which is good and bad, because I feel like I can only do things at a certain level.
That's a very Black woman thing. I picked up golf. And I've been traveling so much. I'm sorry, Keith. I'm gonna be back. I promise you, I'm coming back. I've been traveling so much. I haven't been to my lessons, but like, I was like, I need to take lessons. I need to get a brand new set of clubs.
Yeah.
I need to have gear.
Yeah.
I need to practice before. Men will just go out. Let's golf today.
Yeah.
Tear up half of the course. So it is a Black woman thing that you feel. And listen, it's why you're excellent.
Yeah.
It's why we are excellent. And it is why, if you do end up doing it, it will be spectacular, because you do feel the need to be an expert about it.
Fully.
Yeah.
Fully.
We need the audacity of a mediocre man.
I literally pray this prayer all the time. Do you watch Love Island?
I don't.
God, dog. Let me tell you quickly. This is beautiful woman. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Okay. The white man, not very beautiful. He shot his shot at her. She said, no, thank you. Went on, started dating someone else. A couple days later, he said, you know what I'm going to do? Shoot my shot again. And then did it. The rest of the island was like, are you dumb? Are you a fool? Because she literally unequivocally said no. Why would you go again?
Maybe she changed her mind.
She did not.
Yeah.
She said no solidly. Twice.
They have audacity.
I say, God, I need that.
Yeah.
Whatever delusion, audacity that is, very much give it to me, because I don't. They were laughing at this man. He said, "You know what I'm gonna do? Ask again." Okay, Mr. Sir. I said, God, I need that. But it's true. I promised hand to God a meeting about it this morning. I sent a good little outline. I was so proud of it. And they were like, yeah, Melissa, but I feel like, in order for us to write it together, like, I feel like you stepped too far ahead. I feel like we all need to like arrive at the gym together, was the analogy. I said, baby, y'all been in the gym. I haven't. And I will not be embarrassed. So I had to come in with my research and have myself prepared, because y'all faking like y'all ain't been in the gym, but you have. And then you're going to turn to me and ask me a question, and I won't even understand the question. Absolutely not. I'll read a book first. So that's what I did. I was all up and down the last 2 weeks. How in the world do you do this? Where do you start? And so I've been watching all of these movies. The whole point of this is I was watching all these movies this weekend, and I watched Waiting to Exhale. Pray to God. This friendship, this group, it actually inspired a scene that I am fake writing in this movie. But when Gloria had the birthday party, I don't know if you remember this movie. Anyway, it's one of the most iconic scenes when they're dancing, and Angela Bassett says, what happened to the music? It's supposed to be a party. Anyway, I was like, man, God, I want friendship that looks like this, that's supportive, that's accountable, that interrogates, that tells you when you're wrong, but also is willing to stand 10 toes down behind you and show up in court when your man done acted a donkey. Correct. I was like, this is so like this dynamic of these Black women in their 30s. Like, I don't even know the last time we saw a movie for real like that. I guess you could maybe say Girls Trip, but even their dynamic is a little bit different because they're low-key like beefing underneath it all. Because I watched that this weekend too. But you don't see that often. Yeah. And I'm like craving a dynamic that's so genuine and sincere, and it's still all of those things where I know you support me, and you support me enough to correct me when I'm wrong, and I know that it's coming from a place of love. Number one, you don't see it on screen, and number two, it's very difficult to find. For me, I don't want to indict all of LA, child.
No, it is. It's definitely difficult to find. It takes time. It takes intention. It takes patience. It takes a little bit of vulnerability and trust. But it's to me, having those kind of friendships is like the same as having a partner, because it is a part of life that is very full. And like that movie is a great example of like sisterhood and how it gets you through times when other people let you down, when life just lets you down. You need a rock, like you need someone who's there. So I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you, and I know that's coming for you. So.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I hope I did well for your first.
You know what the fear always is? Kevin is, I told you guys, he's such a yapper, and Kevin knows a little bit about everything. There's no conversation you can have with Kev where he knows what you're talking about. He has an opinion about it. He knows all of things. I don't be that person. I go really deep on things that I know, and then things that I don't. And so send me the questions ahead of time so I know if I need to prepare some. Like, that's who I am. And Kev is like, you could talk to Kev about golf to politics in Russia. He knows a little bit about everything. And I'd be like, girl, golf. Is that where the birdie is, or is that tennis? I don't know. Like, literally. And so I'm always nervous that I don't live up to the expectation of what it means to be a guest on a podcast.
You were fabulous.
Well, thank you.
You were vulnerable. You were honest. You were amazing.
Well, thank you.
I feel like we all learned so much about you. I'm so grateful for you coming on. I can't wait to see the fake movie I'm writing. Listen, I have faked my way through many things that turned out to be great. And it definitely will be great. We do need rom-coms though. Like, we need to introduce a little whimsy.
I agree.
Girly pop, fall in love type stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you'll do a great job.
Thank you.
Even if you don't do the bulk of the writing, I think the inspiration.
I don't know.
Writing is very hard. So
it is. I'm learning, and I haven't even got to the dialogue. But I do know. I think because I do love a good rom-com. Waiting to Exhale's always been one of my favorite movies because I'm a Whitney and a Brandy fan, even from a very young age. And I'm now obviously reading a lot of romantic movies, romance novels, that I feel like I can see things. And so I write from a space of like emotion, like what I want the scene to evoke. I have like key dialogue moments that I know I want to have, but like outside of that, I'd be
girl, you're already on your way. Like, you done already said a bunch of terms that like I'm like key dialogue.
It's fake. Don't get your hopes up, child.
Oh, it's coming through
because we don't know if it's coming.
Make sure you follow Melissa at Miss Kev on Stage and follow the Gin and Juice podcast. Make sure you check that out. Thank you so much for blessing us on Too Personal, for being very vulnerable and honest, and thanks for letting me be, I think, your first solo interview. You're in great hands.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.